Yo. Welcome back to another episode of The Great Deliberators. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Imperator Rose.
It's your boy DK.
And one time for our boy OB.
Say your name, make your name ring.
Say your name, make your name ring.
I just want to let y'all know, I know I look dusty as hell right now. It's because...
He just want to say that.
It's because... Nah, fuck that. It's because this nigga, I'm coming from the gym.
He got on a t-shirt and some shorts.
I wanted to go home and take a shower and come back. Mm-hmm. Your boy was like, nah, we need to do it by 7:30.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dog, like, I can't even...
What he don't understand is my kids go to bed every day between 8 and 8:30. He fucking up my children's sleep schedule here. They need to get back on track.
They can't go to sleep without you in the bed?
Huh? No, because if we put them in the bed now, they're going to keep interrupting the pod. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to keep walking out of their room.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Just put some rubber tussin in their...
Nah, man. See, I ain't talking about drugging my kids. All right.
No diddy.
Okay, so to the three new followers that we just got this past week.
Shout out
to y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Shout out.
Y'all.
Appreciate you. To the day ones, as always, appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, and share this pod. You know what I'm saying? All of that helps grow the channel, helps us, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we do this. We do this to gain more followers, to gain exposure, you know what I'm saying, to try to put us on. And it's free. It's the easiest thing you can do to support the channel, you know what I'm saying? And all we ask is that you like, comment, and share. You know what I'm saying? So holla at us, man.
Yeah, so look, real quick, because I was looking at this on my phone. I just thought this was so ironic. Northwest gifts Kim Kardashian a Skibbity toilet diamond necklace.
I still don't know what this is, but
it's like it's a little kid thing. They be watching this YouTube videos like puppets. They be making like outlandish comments. They really should not be watching this kind of stuff.
Is the show called? Oh, it's outlandish.
It's really outlandish. They be talking about a lot of like
wild shit.
So
it's not for kids, pretty much.
It should not be for kids, but it's puppets talking to other puppets, so it's definitely for kids. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
If I had a child, they would not be watching it.
Define the puppets, though, because I done seen some puppets that's clearly meant for like
the puppet got a cigarette in his mouth talking to a Mario, talking about sex with Peach.
That's not for kids. That ain't supposed to be.
What you mean? Their audience are definitely, you think adults are watching this?
Yeah.
No, adults are not watching this, bro. These are kids and teenagers that are watching this.
Okay. All right.
You don't know what Skibbity toilet is, do you?
That's true.
I bet you go to your daughter right now and say Skibbity toilet. She probably, or somebody in her class will probably know what it is.
Probably know what it is. Okay.
All right. So, but I just thought it was ironic because it's like Kim Kardashian, to give your mom a Skibbity toilet necklace is funny as hell to me. Like Northwest might be the funniest person out there right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so serious, dog.
Oh, dang, that's fucked up.
Like Kim Kardashian's top 5 most influential people out there, and it all stemmed from a sex tape. It's crazy.
Again, before we get into this argument, y'all, she's not the top 5 most influential person just based off a sex tape. It's a lot more to that than just the sex tape. Although I admit it catapulted her, I guess you could say.
Okay, so
it started it all.
So yes, it started all. She's influential because she started the BBL era. Let's just call it what it is. She started the BBL era.
Yeah, that's probably
what I'm saying. And because of that, she only started the BBL era because of the sex tape. She got her name to fame based off the sex tape, and she capitalized that.
I got you, but I'm saying you don't become top 5 most influential. Matter of fact, we can't even say people. It ain't got to be women. We can say top 5 most influential people, especially at one point, just because of a sex tape. Many people make a sex tape and never do anything, and never even get. Yeah,
I'm giving her props because first off, I'm giving her due because she turned a sex tape into $1 billion empire. Great, kudos.
I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying, but still, like Skibbity toilet is the best way that I would be able to like explain her whole situation. And a matter of fact, it's even more ironic because it's a diamond gold necklace. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you are.
How does Northwest even get like?
She took her mommy and daddy's money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she took their money and got her Skibbity toilet diamond gold chain necklace.
Like, how does she? But I'm saying, how did she even get? Did she like steal a card and like go? Like,
she probably got a credit card.
You know what I'm saying? Like how do you do that without your parents knowing?
Or she probably got it for free. Somebody probably was able to make it and be like, hey, just post it and we'll do it and just say that.
Yeah, tag us in it.
Yeah, tag us in that mug. It's not a thick chain. It's like a little small female chain. So
it pays to be rich, man.
Yeah.
He said it's got diamonds in it. It's got to be worth what?
Yeah, if it was my brother on here, he would be like, shoot, his daughter would have, my niece would have been a fucking billionaire. All right, man. So let's get it popping, man. Let's get with the pod.
Okay, man. Let's get into this first topic here, man. This one this was interesting, man, because remember, you always gotta take shit that you see on the internet, with a grain of salt. But we're gonna take this one at face value. Somebody named Lust Sierra posted this to Twitter. We're gonna talk about it and discuss it here. It says, imagine this. Imagine being 8 months pregnant the night before your doctor appointment. Your husband takes you out on a nice date, real fancy restaurant, got your favorite flowers, a necklace, and new charm bracelet, comfy new slippers, perfume, etc. All to end up leaving you the very next morning, 30 minutes before your appointment time. Backstory. I met this man a few years ago, off rip. He treated me like a queen. Our very first date was a night out in front of the lake. He was everything I ever wanted my ex to be. I've always acknowledged my appreciation for him and everything he has done. He has never cheated, rubs my feet, and Belly faithfully, legit caters to me and my every need/want. Fast forward, while we were on our date, I snapped pictures and videos of everything and I sent them to my ex. I shared how I wished it was him who did these things for me.
I'd have left your ass. Right, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I apologize.
Let me finish. How it was him I should have been pregnant for, and how I wished he loved me, how I still love him, and maybe one day we could come back from this. My husband saw these messages. Now, I know it was wrong, but I love my husband. I don't want to lose him over stupid texts and hormones.
It's not about you wanting to lose him. You lost him.
Hold on, man. I didn't mean those things. I'm just pregnant and emotional. How can I get my husband back? He has packed all his things and some of mine and left.
You's a fucking nut, nigga.
I thought we were going to get through this pod without having to hit that button. But we had to do it. And for my black queens out there, because I love y'all.
I feel like this isn't even like a...
For my black... And it's crazy. The reality is, her ass ain't tell us the full story.
I don't think this knows...
Her ass ain't tell us the full story.
I don't know
if this is true, because I'm hoping this is fake.
It's got to be cap.
I'm hoping this is
It's
fake.
got to be cap.
But if this is true...
But let's play devil's advocate.
Let's entertain this shit.
Yeah, let's entertain
Why not?
You put it on the internet.
Why not? Let's entertain this shit. Whoever you are. I'm going to call you because it just sounds like a type of situation.
God. Hey, yo.
Respectfully.
Hey,
so
we about to get shits and gigs in this motherfucker.
There's no problem. Look, man. Comment. Hate me. Hit the dislike button.
No, this nigga trying to get us canceled before we ever even get started.
Is that being canceled?
Yes, nigga.
I'm African, y'all. I'm sorry. But look.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I am African.
I don't know this nigga.
Yeah, so look. So over here, she really decided to... This dude poured all this time and energy and resources into doing this for you. Mm-hmm. And your first thought while this is happening is, let me tell my old nigga what my new nigga is doing. And I'm just telling y'all right now, if that were me, call me whatever y'all want to call me. Ain't shit, this, that, and the third. I'm going to be the third because I'm dipping. I'm out of there. Like, the reality is that regardless of the hormones and all of that, I have to have discernment while you on your hormones to be able to do certain things. Hence, probably why I'm putting this whole pop and circumstance for you in the first place. Because you probably been on your hormones, probably been getting on my nerves a little bit. Let me just do something real fucking nice for you.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To just like, you know what I'm saying? Because we about to go through hell probably in the next month. We don't know what's going to happen. So let me just do all this for you. Let me cater to you the best way that I can.
Yeah.
And you decide to bring your old nigga, an ex-nigga into this situation.
Yeah, that's wild.
While it's happening, it'd be different if you waited a week or waited a couple of days. And I'm not even saying I would not feel some type of way.
Yeah.
But while it's happening, dog, I'm dipping. I'm out of there. And matter of fact, I applaud the man for leaving because somebody who would stay would probably have built up anger and probably would not be able to handle that situation emotionally and could probably do something or say something that would harm you in any which way. You know what I'm saying? So I actually applaud the dude for saying like, you know what? This is what I needed to see. Yeah. And I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But if it was your hormones, we can blame it on the hormones, but it was done. What was done was done. We can't blame stepping out of a marriage on, dumb shit. Can we? So, yeah, oh my God. Like I needed it, baby. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. So I don't know how we gonna justify this shit, but I'll let you go. Maybe you will give this woman grace.
To be honest with you, I think you took a very PG approach to it because I don't think anyone.
I'm trying to keep the followers coming. I don't want to get canceled.
I don't think.
Sorry, if we have any is out there, I do apologize.
I mean, I'm gonna believe every time you say that out. So
for real,
yeah, that
you should let it ride.
No.
Okay.
with that being said, I think you took a very PG approach, man. I feel like I don't think that there's any time where she could have done this, and like I would have been like I would have allowed grace in this type of situation because she says specifically, I wish you loved me how I still love you. You know what I'm saying? Like that is above all else, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Everything else
that would be so hurtful to read, bro.
Everything else is forgivable to a certain extent, right? You know what I'm saying? Like how I wish you would have done this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's having built up things from closure that didn't happen. I'm good. But the moment I read that, that's where I'm going. And I'm sure that's the reason why homie left in the event that this is real. But like that's the reason why he left. How you bring your ass to Twitter and ask people how to get your husband back is beyond me. I'm gonna be honest. Did you win the lottery?
I don't even believe
you could try winning the lottery.
I don't even believe that, like, even after the situation, that you would run to Twitter to like say that, dog. Like you even putting him on blast even more. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, if there was a chance that he would be like, you know what?
Yeah,
let me just like, you know what I'm saying? Eat this and just go back, whatever. Now that everybody knows, you pretty much publicly just called him a bitch. Bro, like that's the crazy part.
That's what I'm saying.
Of it
like
all.
if he was gonna forgive, like even if there was a slimmer of a chance,
look, man,
you done put all the business out there for the world to see.
Like I said, I'm single. I ain't got the answers. But if it was me,
I think this is pretty black and white. I feel like this is like a less than 1% of people would try to like engage to try to like defend her on this.
Some people live in the gray,
and then some
people live in the gray.
I can't see it on this one.
So hey man,
because I read a lot of comments. I ain't seen nobody.
Dog,
I had to go. I went pretty far.
She a dummy.
Dog,
she a dummy.
Like this got to be cap, right? There's just no way any sane person would think that this was even remotely okay. You know what I'm saying?
What is her name?
Lust Sierra. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was close.
Like, look,
I was close.
Look, the point is,
Can I see what she look like?
Nigga, you're way off, bro.
No. Lust Sierra and Shaquita are very close.
That is not even remotely close. What are you talking about?
You putting lust in front of your name, it just gives me. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me chill. Yeah.
She does look as though she would come to and do some shit like this.
All right, man.
That is what we will say. But yeah, man, this is listen, I would never fault anyone for leaving in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, you just feel like you were ultimately disrespected. Like it didn't even have to really go that far. Just all she did in general, right, would cause a man at least enough to need a break or a separation to clear his head. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even that, you know, me given the situation, like I said, I look at, I mean, it's always too many variables to bring up. But my main issue was that part, how she said, like, I wish you loved me the way I still love you. And the fact that, like, yo, they've been married and they well into this.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well into this thing.
And we talked about this on the pod. Like, you know, men, we have emotions. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes, you know, we get this.
Yeah, don't let these niggas lie to you.
We get this stigma that, like, you know what I'm saying, we don't feel shit. And this is gonna sound even crazier. When we do those kind of things, like buy roses, set up a date, this, that, and the third, we really are kind of like becoming even more and more vulnerable in that situation. I'm gonna speak for me. I'm not gonna speak for all men. So I'm gonna speak for me. If I gotta set up a date for a female, get the flowers, rub your feet, this, that, and the third, like I'm really coming to you kind of naked. Like I don't have any kind of guard up prepared for anything. So when in the midst of that happening, if I were to read a message like this, it'd be very different if I'm reading the message right now, where I'm kind of in a position where I feel like I have a guard. You know what I'm saying? Like I have expectations where it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little weary on this. Maybe I'm 90% sure, but there's 10% of me that feels like there could be something shaky. When I go all out, do the nice dinner, get dressed up, you know, this, that, and the third. I'm talking about get the fireworks ready. And this were to happen, it's like damn near getting on one knee and being told, fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Not even just a no. Just
it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So this is like really
bad.
one of those things where it's like I'm the most naked that I can ever be in front of you, and this is how you know what I'm saying, you react live in the midst of it. Yeah, I gotta get up out of there, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, there's definitely something in me that I don't want to know that exists, but I know it probably does. So let me just get up out of here.
Yeah, and especially like, definitely in the moment you read it, you gotta leave,
because because the reality is, this is any one of my partners that I felt like did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Pause, but like just did me wrong in a similar type of situation.
Yeah.
We squaring up.
Yeah, we fighting.
I'm
right
gonna beat your ass.
Yeah,
You know, like,
so you getting hands.
So in this situation, I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, it's like there's only one step further you can take a level of this disrespect, like in a relationship. So like this is like you're right there.
You text it. All right. Next subject.
Like you right there.
Next subject. It gotta be
and
fake. It gotta be fake.
And I'm saying, like, it does add like a little tinge of extra seasoning on it, because she did it while they were out. Like that's what makes it so much worse.
Mid-dinner. You over here.
No, that's what makes it so much worse, because like you're not even like enjoying the moment. Like you're breaking down and like crumbling from the fact that it's because
and then you want to blame it on hormones.
It's not him doing it.
All right.
Look, I ain't saying
I've met a lot of pregnant women out there publicly, privately, and I've never heard this kind of a scenario. So I don't know why your hormones is hitting you like this.
It's because she's still in love with him.
I don't know why your hormones is hitting you like this.
In the event that this is real, right?
That's what she said. She said it. It's not like we don't think this. She said.
So I'm saying that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Your hormones just caused you to do something, made you act, you know what I'm saying, how you really feel. You've been able to disguise it and hide it, you know what I'm saying, like push it down, you know what I'm saying? The guy you with is probably...
you suppressed that long enough, and then the situation happened and you couldn't...
The guy you with is probably perfect, you know what I'm saying? He probably ain't the one you actually want, but it's the one that you know you should be with. I wish Kevin Samuels was here. You know what I'm saying? Ooh.
I wish Kevin Samuels was
here. This seemed like a perfect... Yeah, this seemed like a perfect Kevin Samuels topic.
Oh, man.
I agree.
So now you got a baby daddy, and you're for the streets.
Damn. Okay.
For the pavement.
All right, man.
For the gutter.
Okay, let's keep it pushing, man. We got a couple of more topics here. Let's go and roll to this next one. I feel like this one's going to be pretty good. Let's go.
I really want my people to be released from the shackles of this generational wealth conversation when a lot of us are poor right now. I had a guy come and appraise my house yesterday, and he asked me why was I selling. So I told him the truth. You know, I got a lot of equity in this house. I just want to sell and go on with my life, get a fresh start. And he shook his head and said, what about generational wealth? What about it if I'm poor right now? I've had this conversation so many times, and I used to work in the mortgage department, right? And it was the same thing. My people almost going into foreclosure, trying to hold on to dear life to these houses that they had hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of equity in, just for generational wealth. But you can't afford it. And you have to be real with yourself. Like, let's have these conversations. I had no major issues with my home, thank God. But a lot of people who own homes are just one major repair away from losing everything. They don't have thousands of dollars on standby to fix the roof or whatever. We have to stop thinking that the cost of generational wealth is present poverty. Struggling to maintain just to say, oh, I got an asset that I could pass down, and we struggling to keep it. I'm not doing it. And I'm not afraid to admit, I can't afford no major repair right now, for real. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sell it. All I'm saying is, don't let people talk you into doing things that you really can't afford, because they're not gonna pay your bills. Have a good day.
I'm gonna let Raph take this one first.
Okay. I've always been very big on this, because what I'm about to say is that the conversation of generational wealth is, at one point in time, I believe that it had positive effects on the community, but I'm in agreement with her, because personally speaking, I personally feel like is if you're suffering to maintain whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to, far outweighs your ability to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Far outweighs. I'm not saying that like you're struggling and you know what I'm saying, that like it's hard, but you know, you can keep going, you can keep digging your feet in the mud, you know what I'm saying? You can keep pushing through. I'm talking where like every week there's a new thing being chopped off this block. You know what I'm saying? And like you're standing on the edge of it and you getting ready to fall off a cliff, and you had an opportunity earlier to exit to gain some equity, like she's talking about, and then potentially use that to then go and build leverage on something else. Then by all means do that. You know what I'm saying? What we talk about when we talk about what generational wealth is the conversations used to be is, oh, that's my mama house. Taxes on that house cost $500 a month, but if I sell it, I can get $200,000 real quick. Well, that was losing generational wealth to a quick come up where you weren't gonna do nothing but go, we gonna keep it a bean, go blow it on the fucking Cadillac Escalade and some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where the conversations of generational wealth were being had, and that's the conversation that was surrounding it. You know what I'm saying? Those were the topics and the discussions that were surrounding it. It was about people who had generational wealth but were blown it and wasn't keeping it in the family, and then it transitioned into hustle culture where you work in 5-6 jobs, which if you talk to anybody who's successful, you don't knock a tree down by hitting it in 5 or 6 different places. You knock a tree down by hitting it in one spot 5 or 6 times, 1,000 times, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you hit it in the same spot. You become good at something. I've yet to see anyone become, build generational wealth with 5 or 6 hustles. Typically, you find your niche and then you grow within that. But like the conversation that she's having, I personally agree with it. It is, if you have equity, right, and you see that down the pipeline, you're going to start losing on that and potentially could even lose said equity because, you know what I'm saying, things just ain't going your way, then like, to me, you almost have an obligation to take that said equity, kind of create a baseline, you know what I'm saying, hold it, and then start building from there. I don't see the point in continuously suffering, you know what I'm saying, just to say, you know what I'm saying, they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna be able to pass this down to my kids. You ain't gonna be able to pass anything down to your kids because stress is the number one killer. And if it take you away early, you know what I'm saying, ain't none of that gonna matter anyway. So I'm just saying is the conversation around generational wealth has changed and it's no longer really a productive one in my eyes.
All right. So I really do disagree with you, but I will preface everything by saying that I need more information. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to come to a hard conclusion, and I really want to be able to lean one way or to be fully in this decision and what I'm going to articulate. But it's hard for me to come to this conclusion without, I would have about 10 to 12 questions that I would want to ask her. Like, how many bedrooms in the house? Is it possible to possibly get roommates to leverage some of the mortgage? Sometimes roommates can take care of your mortgage to where you are living for free. Hence what I did almost. You know what I'm saying? My roommates were paying for almost 80 to 85% of my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I went into it with a plan, and that's kind of what I stuck to that plan. You know what I'm saying? When she talked about a roof and this, that, and the third, I'm going to call that cap, because are you being responsible with having things like home insurance? There are things that you can have in place if your roof does need to be replaced, that you've paid maybe $80 a month, $100 a month on certain insurance that you may have on your home, which is what I do, right? That if something goes awry within your house, that the insurance will automatically take care of that, maybe with like $1,000 or $2,000 deductible. So it's one of those things where it's just like, there's so many questions that I would need to be able to, like, did you purchase this fully, as a responsible adult? Did you go into this decision with all the information, or did you kind of go into it willy-nilly and now you're sitting here with this type of, decision, like, do I need to let this go or not? Now, the reality is, at the end of the day, if your reality currently at this moment is that you got to let it go because of whatever reason, then that's what you got to do. But I'm also going to tell you straight up, without a shadow of a doubt, that mortgage payments and rent payments are damn near equal now. Okay? That's so it's very hard for me to tell somebody like, hey, you're going to live in Houston for the next 7-8 years, right? Okay, yeah, keep paying that rent because, it's a little bit more stress-free. And it is. Having a rent payment and having a mortgage payment, as far as stress goes, two different fucking things. Even if it's the same amount, being a homeowner is not easy. It's not easy. But I will say that I understand why I'm taking on that stress, because I hopefully, and not even just for generational wealth, even though that is part of it, but I want to retire. And I know that when I do retire, hopefully 45, 50 years old, and I have, 1, 2, 3 properties paid off, that I will continue to rent out those properties and I can live off of said income. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'm thinking of that now at the age of 30. You know what I'm saying? When I bought my house at 29, when I was thinking at that mindset at 29, to where now that I'm about to turn 33, it's like, okay, I'm in the game. I've had some skin in the game, but I've never been in her situation, because from jump, before I even moved into my house, I already had 2 roommates who were paying, almost $600 a month. You know what I'm saying? So they were taking care of so much of my mortgage that it allowed me to have some type of mental, freedom, mental bandwidth to continue to take on this, new thing. But I can't knock her. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I would hate for anybody to hate life because of a purchase or because of something that they can get out of. Obviously, if that's your truth, then by all means do it. But I also will tell people that, yes, generational wealth is very fucking important. And I do think that, yes, there's always going to be stress, bro. But whether you take on the stress now or you take it on at 55 or 60, where your body can't handle said stress, you know what I'm saying? Because having said stress at 55, 60 years old, 65, that's going to fucking kill you. You can take stress on when you were your late 20s, early 30s, semi-early 40s. You can take on some stress, but you need to start doing it early, which is why it's like, hey, if you start this pattern now and you teach your kids this, by the time they're teenagers and they start doing things like investing and so on and so forth, when they're your age at 30, 35, they'll be able to take things on, have a little bit more headstrong, have mental bandwidth for things, and they won't have to feel the way that you feel, and they'll be ahead of the game. Because I feel like I'm behind. I know counterparts who are of the European descent, and them niggas started at like 14, 15, 16 years old with investing. I started at damn near 26, 27 when I first got into stocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm behind in the game. And I'm sure maybe to a certain extent you probably feel the same. As a community, we are behind when it comes to that. So I don't want us to give away things of ownership to go back to things where we have to like rent from somebody who's owning and pouring money into their pockets so they can continue to have generational wealth. Somebody got to make the sacrifice. I get what she's saying. So I know I didn't give like a direct answer on that, but hopefully y'all can understand where I'm coming from. Go ahead.
Okay, so the problem is again, you have conversations where like you constantly compare like what you did to what people are going on with, and that's not even the conversation here. The conversation is whether or not you should be trying to hold on to an asset that quite literally might be killing you.
And that's why I said, I get it. I understand.
It is like, and again, right, like at some point in time, everybody's alarm clock come on at different times, right? So at some point in time, the alarm clock gonna go off. At what age it ever comes off on you on it doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of matters, but the point is here is that whenever it does, make sure that like you are now taking steps to correct said behavior. What I'm saying is she very well could have bought a house. Obviously, the concern is here is that she bought a house that she couldn't afford. The issue is, and I guess my concern is again is the conversations around generational wealth now have become quite literally killing yourself to maintain things rather than actually having a plan. You get what I'm saying? Because to me, there's nothing wrong with letting go of something, especially like if you got a plan going forward, right? Because you could take equity and then, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, go buy a fucking tiny house, you know what I'm saying? Go buy a single wide trailer for all I know. I don't know what direction you take in order to build wealth or what sacrifices you're going to make. But what I'm saying here is if you were in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, whatever asset you have, you're able to like come up with a plan that can then get you out of said situation and then start building on that wealth. I get it, right? But at the same time, if you're holding on to that asset, you might be hurting your wealth because how much investing you doing if like you constantly struggling just to be able to pay for things, right? And to be honest with you, I've now thought about it. And somebody brought it up to me. I was just watching this guy talk about it. In reality, you don't really build much wealth on a house unless you pay it off fairly early. Because in all the money that you spend to eventually pay it off, especially on like a 30-year mortgage, is if you compare it to you being able to put in something as simple as the S&P 500, it's night and day comparison to like what you'll be left with. So the reality is the conversation around generational wealth have always been held around keeping, you know what I'm saying, rental property, which again, rental property is great. That's perfect, right? But at the same time, if you compare those rental properties to putting money into the S&P 500, it doesn't even compare. After 30 years of $500 a month, you are now accumulating $140,000 a year in interest after 30 years just in the S&P 500. And like, we out here trying to buy rental property. The conversations that we're having isn't even about education. It's just about holding on to assets. It's not actually about teaching generational wealth. And the only conversations we ever have is about keeping shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about growing shit. So if you got to take a step back, you got to exit a situation and then start over and then have a plan to go elsewhere, then by all means do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like we're far better with it now than we were, to me, 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, these conversations were really fucking goofy and it was all over the place. And honestly, it was just a bunch of people on the internet who was just saying wild shit and really didn't have good direction. It was probably people you shouldn't have been taking advice from anyway. But I understand making sacrifices. I make sacrifices every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm definitely for if we ever got to a point where this house became too much of a burden, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely going to exit and start over. I'm going to take that equity and I'm going to figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's more important to keep the money that I have invested into this than to lose this. And that is going to always be the best option. You know what I'm saying? Now, how you got to that point, that's a lesson for you to learn, you know what I'm saying, and to figure out how to prevent that from occurring again. But by all means, man, listen, do not stress and kill yourself over trying to keep something just so you can say that you're trying to build generational wealth. There's a difference between working hard and building on said wealth and having to make sacrifices to keep that wealth versus literally dying every day trying to keep it. And that's all I'm saying.
All right, man. Look, man, I don't disagree. You know, I have a very hard stance on, you know, and you know this. I'm big on like really trying to push the envelope on having wealth for our future.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think for everybody who said bless you, want to thank you. I really don't think that. I think that there's going to be sacrifices. When them sacrifices are going to be, you know, stress mentally and all the above. But you know, I would be lying to you if I told you that like I don't be stressed out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there'd be times that I wish I did not have a house, even though I'm just renting it out. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, like I know that all right, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. You know, and I don't have the issues that she may have because I'm literally renting it out for what a little bit, maybe like $100, $200 more than what my mortgage is. So I'm not facing them issues. And I also have a townhome in a gated neighborhood. So it's one of those things where like the roof and so on and so forth are covered with the HOA that I pay for. And then which I pay my HOA pretty much a year in advance, the whole entire thing, which is so much fucking money. But I do all these things because I know that once I let go of all that burden at that time, the resources, that mentally I'm good for the year. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to worry about A, B, C, and D. But at the same time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have a social life that a lot of my peers may have. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I do not have that I sometimes wish that I did. You know, so but I'm ultimately okay with that. I think I'm at a net positive because of the things that I'm trying to do. And hopefully that whoever I'm able to, you know, part of my life with will be able to see that and we can put our resources together knowing what I already have and hopefully whatever she has and then hopefully take this world over. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things where, man, I feel bad for her. I really do. I wish, one of the things I would like to say is like, man, how can we, you know, take some of the cost off of you and put that burden on somebody else while you still reap the benefits long term. But I mean, again, we're just going off of a clip, which this is why the internet we don't get the full picture with a lot of things. Because
the picture is she
can't afford it.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? She can't afford it. But I do think that even though you can't afford things, there's ways that you can circumvent that will still be in your favor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like if you guys were $300 short every month, maybe you have a family member move in and you charge them $350 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just ways that you can do certain things to have it work in your favor still. Because what I'm telling you is that the people that you're renting from, they are at the same point, but instead they're having you pick up the bill. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying is like, how can we, you know, do what they are doing and still be successful at it? And that's my only thing. Yeah. But I mean, I feel for her and What I would really like to say is that I wish she would have been a little bit more honest in why she felt like she got to where she's at, because I think that's more important than the conversation that we're having. How can we avoid being in your position because maybe there's some things that you did not take care of? Maybe there was like you're bringing up a roof. The reality is there's home insurance out there that your roof will be covered. Like, so you like.
Most insurances they get covered, but again, you got to have 1 to 2% of your. You got to have 1 to 2% of what. Typically, in most home insurances, whatever your house value is, they don't cover 1 to 2% of it. So, let's say your house is worth $3,000, then you might have to come up off of $300,000. You might have to come off of $6,000. They'll cover the other $12,000 or $13,000 it's going to cost to repair the roof.
And I get it, but you know this. I'm big on financial literacy. We should have a $10,000 emergency fund. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like there are fun. Like when you have purchases like getting a home, then you got to practice certain things at the beginning that you know. Like, all right, before I'm ass out on a situation, how much is it going to cost me? And I need to start building towards that. You may not have it at that time, but maybe every month you start putting $100, $50, $250 towards these things. Like you got to have funds for when things happen. Like if we don't have that, then we do feel like our backs are against the wall when shit happens. And let me tell you something, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? The other day we did this pod, somebody tried to break into your whip. And I'm sure that cost you something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that readily available, then you're gonna feel like everything is gone to shit. Now that stressful situation has multiplied by 10 because you don't have what it takes to handle that situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that's why I'm just like, man, we just need more information. But I do agree with regardless of the information, you know, mama, if you're not prepared or you don't have what it takes, you know, right now at the moment to, you know, keep that house viable, then you gotta let it go and, you know what I'm saying, figure it out maybe in a year or two, you know what I'm saying? And when you do try it again, or when you do it again, make sure you take care of the mistakes or the things that you did not take care of originally. Yeah. But that's it.
I'm really just saying that the conversations around generational wealth can be more than just about holding on to things that you feel like are killing you.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. The first thing I would do, not even just go get a house, go get a retirement plan. And the reason why I say that is because when you die, do you want to know the biggest thing that you can help your kids with is for them not to pay money to bury you or to take care of you when you get old. Like, at least have enough set aside for you to take care of yourself. That's the number one step to generational wealth. Let the generation that you are bringing up in this world not to have to take care of you when you no longer are physically able to go out there and work. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step. Once we can get that baseline covered, then we can start talking about other things. But if y'all don't have a retirement plan, I don't want to hear shit about a house. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. Like, don't talk to me about, if you ain't got an IRA, if you ain't got a 401k, if you don't have, you know what I'm saying, possibly an HSA, if you don't have any of these things, dog, don't talk to me about no house. You're already behind the 8 ball. You're doing it the wrong way. You haven't taken care of step 1, 2, and 3, and you over here worried about step 10. So, I mean, again, we need more information, but, you know, I ain't got all the answers. But
yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And again, killing yourself to make that shit happen, if it's fucking with your mental, I just don't agree with it.
I say go get a therapist. But all right, man, next topic.
That could be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the solution is, I don't care what it is, but there's more than one way to handle shit. And
for sure.
It ain't always just killing yourself. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Damn, I don't want you to say that. Because YouTube be getting on us.
Okay. Oh, well, I might go ahead and take that. All right, let's run this next one here, and then we're going to fade up out of here.
I don't think monogamy exists. I think every once in a while you meet a dude and he only with his girl. Very rare. We are men. We, especially men who have means. If you're a man who has means, you have women. And if you say it ain't true, you're not being genuine. I know your girl probably watching, but if you could, just think how sweet it would be if you could talk to your girl for real. Do you know the harmony that might be able to come from that? But you didn't pick a girl you could talk to for real. You picked a girl that you're willing to act for as long as you can keep her. That's what most people are in that situation. But we men, we got money, especially men who got money. You got girls. You can't not be with them. There's too many beautiful women in the world to just lie to one girl and be like, look, I'm only with you. That's some bullshit, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. I can't be with nobody like that.
But you keep mentioning certain things. I'm curious to know this. You keep mentioning women in poverty. Why? Like, what's your
Well,
admiration?
I'm older now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So, women in poverty, I can control them better. A girl who can't afford to say, fuck you, Corey, I'm gone. She just can't afford to do it. So, I take advantage of that. Now, that might be wrong, but her poverty and my needs, most of the time, it even out. I don't really need a lot of their time. And they don't tell me to fuck off because they know when I come over, they children can get some
Hold up. God damn.
some outlet Jordans.
Outlet Gucci.
Yeah.
Outlet Gucci.
Yo, okay. So here's the thing about Corey Holcomb, man.
Nigga said outlet Jordans, dog.
Wild.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Corey Holcomb.
Wow.
Corey Holcomb.
Listen, Corey Holcomb.
He's a funny guy, bro.
Listen, Corey Holcomb is probably one of the 5 people in the world that truly don't give a shit how you feel.
He don't give a fuck.
Or what he gonna say what he say. With that being said, though, because we decided to run this, I'm gonna tell you that based off of what he said, I'm gonna say that he's probably more right than wrong. I mean, because listen here, man. The thing is this: is the way he say it, but he says it in a manner that, I mean, it's kind of a duh. Monogamy is a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you choose to be monogamous. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when he says, like, he don't believe most men are monogamous, yeah, because most men are men who are choosing not to be monogamous, you know what I'm saying? Or to engage in it and lie or whatever and not actually be monogamous is because, you know what I'm saying? They the very definition of they want their cake and they want to eat it too. With that being said, listen, he's right on one thing. I mean, he's right about several things, but he's right about saying is if most men would just be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could get past this conversation of
Elon
monogamy
Musk.
and shit like that. Because the reality is a lot of niggas, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it just makes sense. Like, why do niggas rob banks? Niggas rob banks because they need money. And if it's an easy enough lick, they gonna go get the fucking money. Like, the thing is it's easy for a nigga. If a nigga really likes a girl, right, but he know that, like, he still want to sneak around, well, it's easy to just lie and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be committed to you, while in the back of his head, he don't really have any intention of doing that shit.
You know what's crazy? I don't think it's easy to lie, bro.
What?
I think in the moment it sounds easy, but it's very difficult.
No, but I'm saying
it's difficult to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's difficult to lie to somebody's face, do dirt, and then have to come back and continue to, like,
it's difficult for you.
Compound on that lie. No, I'm saying even for, like, the worst of people, I think that mentally they're going through so much disarray mentally that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
all right, Big Boy gave me my brother gave me one of the most, like, realest advices. And he was just like that. If you gotta lie to somebody, you've allowed that person to become more important than you. You know what I'm saying? And when he said it, I was kind of like, man, it sounds profound, but that shit's stupid as fuck. I don't know what this nigga tripping. But it took me a couple of years, and I mean that, years, to, like, continue to ponder on that. Was like, it's very true. If I gotta lie to you to get whatever I want out of this situation, and then I gotta continue to keep that lie going, you know what I'm saying? That's work. And that work is stressful. You know what I'm saying? Now, we don't think about that at the time, that how stressful it is, but it's stressful, and it's going to continue to compound on itself. Whereas the hard thing in the beginning, but easier long run, would for me to just be like, hey, it ain't gonna work the way you think it's gonna work, but this is the only way that I'm willing to be here for it to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that may be hard to articulate at that time, but think about, like Corey said, how easy life goes from that, because you've set the table. The boundaries have been set already. And instead, I have to know that you set this boundary and I'm lying to you about a boundary. And I got to continue to lie and lie and lie. And though that goes for months, which turns into years, which turns into possibly you forgot who you are at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Because you've kept up that lie so long. But I do agree with the basis of everything, that yes, I do think that men who have wealth and definitely who have the ability or have the opportunity to be with multiple women, a big majority of them are not going to be faithful.
Okay, hold on, wait, because we gotta go back because you go talking and I need to go back.
Sorry.
Listen to me, man. I don't care what you talking about. What you talking about requires a high moral compass, and it's a lot of niggas out here who don't have that. Okay, it is a lot of niggas out here who like a certain girl, who actually want to be with this girl, but don't want to give up certain aspects of being a single man, and that part of it is not difficult for them. I don't know what y'all need to tell yourselves in order to get over that, but it's not. Nigga, because if that was the case, it would be a lot easier for niggas. It would be a lot more men out here not cheating. Okay, the reality is if I like a girl, but I know I still want to do this shit, then I'm a lot of her. It's not any more complicated, any more deep netted than that. Like that's it's the way the world works. If I want something, you know what I'm saying? If I want to scam, if I'm a fraud, you can lump all that shit into one thing, dog. This shit is not hard for a lot of niggas. It's not hard for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't have very high ethical and moral standards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that sense, is that you don't have to take a deep dive into it. What I'm saying here is what Corey Holcomb is saying is simply just a matter of discipline. Listen, we talked about this before on our old podcast, Stop the Foolishness. I was very real. I was very candid. It's really easy for a man to go sleep with a woman and walk away and it not be an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like it's just what it is, right? So when a man chooses to be in a monogamous relationship, I choose to be monogamous because I love this woman enough not to hurt her. You get what I'm saying? Not to go beyond the bedroom, beyond my house, looking for elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Also, I'm a homebody. And like you said, cheating is hard, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta lie, you gotta cover up text messages, you gotta sneak in and out of the house, you gotta hope your phone don't ring around. I'm like, nigga, that's work. It's like a second part-time job, nigga. I fucking hate working.
Full-time job.
Yeah, it's like a second full-time job. I fucking hate working, nigga. And all that shit sounds like is work, nigga. And I got a perfectly good woman at home, you know what I'm saying, who satisfies my every needs. Like, nigga, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So like this conversation that he's having, I mean, he's just being truthful, right? Like niggas with money who got multiple options. Now you get to see the real them because see, it don't matter. See, the problem is this nigga who don't have money, they gotta lie. Because once you put enough work into a woman, you can't just afford to lose her. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got the kind of money or the stature to just go get another woman the next day. So like lying has to become part of your ethos. It has to become a part of your personality. It has to become essentially who you are. But if you got money, sure, you can have a bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas with a bunch of money are rarely married.
Look, man, I agree with you. I just think that it is long term more hard work to
it
continue
is.
to
That ain't.
continue
That
to
ain't.
lie.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
But
I'm saying you saying that it's eating at a nigga.
But if you
if you
watched, I know you didn't watch the interview, and I did. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was great content. It was a great interview. I won't be surprised if it's probably one of his best as far as Cam Newton's podcast is concerned. Cam Newton admitted that several times he's cheated on the girl that he's with now. I forgot her name. She's like a comedian.
No, man. I mean, we know.
Yeah.
Is Cam Newton in a relationship? He's cheating.
He's in a relationship.
No, I'm saying like I didn't even know
her
that.
name is Jazz.
If you'd have told me, if you'd have walked up to me like, hey, you know Cam Newton in a relationship? Yeah. Do you think he's cheating? Yes, that's what I would have told you in the next second. He's rich and famous. Like the reality
I'm gonna be honest, I think damn near 90-95% of these rich and famous niggas is cheating.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
What are we talking about?
That's the reality. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, like, bro, listen, these niggas are tempted with shit that like the normal man can't even fathom.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying?
The Instagram models that like we follow, I don't know if you follow any, but the Instagram models that we follow are like they're daily. They go to the same grocery stores.
Nigga,
you know what I'm saying? And
they be in the same club.
They don't even be approaching them. Like they approach Cam. They approach this this dude. And they know that he's with Jazz because he posts Jazz, but they don't give a fuck. Like, bro, I'll be the side chick, and I'll be the side chick to the side chick, and I'll hold my shit down.
I'm saying I feel like the actual the worst part about this is that where you might have been getting to a point is that niggas lie to themselves. They believe that they're ready for something that they're really not ready for.
No doubt.
So like I've been kicking it with this chick. She's really dope. I like her. You know what I'm saying?
No
but
doubt.
the moment temptation comes back into play, I fold. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. I've realized that I've been in that position.
Yeah.
Not that I've necessarily like just cheated, but it's more so that like I feel like maybe that like, you know what, I want to be this guy for her. I want to be this guy to her because this is how much like I genuinely like like her or even have like this infatuation with her. And then you get to that point and it's just kind of like, man, this is harder for me to like stand on this than not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why for me, it's just like, I find it very hard. And again, I'm not rich like Cam, so let me just chill. Never say never. But I would hope that I'm in a position to where even regardless of how much money it is, that like, I'm not gonna be tempted by all these like different women and this, that, and the third. But
it depends on how
I'm also gonna tell you this though. Cam came upon his money at a very young age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he really got into manhood with, you know, and understood like having to get it from the gutter. Like, dude, the moment he stepped onto Auburn, mind you, I'm sure he got paid for going to Auburn. Let's just be real. But the moment he got to Auburn and won that national championship, it was over.
I mean, he was at Florida first. But just being an athlete on campus in general.
Done. You know
he was a starting QB at Auburn, bro.
And won a national championship like, the 1 year. He was only there for 1 year.
I don't think that even matters. He could have went 3-10 in college. He still is the starting QB
as far
of
as
a Power 5 school.
If we're talking about that from Florida to I forgot the JUCO that he went from Blinn, he was getting them all. But what I'm saying is what I'm talking about like the money. It's not just because all we're talking about is fame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's all fame. We're talking about having the money on top of the fame. That to me is where it just hits different. I think very few will be able to like understand. And I feel like the moment he won that national championship, and we all knew, he's going number 1 in the draft, and he was able to hold it down in the NFL the way he did. I mean, the guy he came up on millions at the age of 20, 21.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Multi-millionaire, and mind you, famous at that. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
I mean, look. The issue isn't the type of single lifestyle he's leaving. The issue is
with a Kool-Aid smile. Yeah, this nigga was everywhere, bro.
It's about your ability to remain disciplined and to know who you are and actually where you at, man. And so I can't believe that some men go into situations with good intentions and truly think that they're like, okay, like now I'm ready, and then fall short of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a to me, I feel like, you know, you should be. It's unfortunate because you're young, you're not too grounded, and you don't know what you want really. Like you think it's what you want right now, right? Because hormones is kicking, infatuation is probably high, but the reality is, you know what I'm saying? You get out on the road, there's women waiting for you in your hotel room, at bars. It becomes difficult.
They make it to your room.
You know what I'm saying?
They make it. You got women knocking on your door, talking about room service.
It's wild, man. So the reality
and all they trying to do is get into your room and provide service like that. I'm trying to tell you, dog.
It would be hard for anyone to not give it to temptation.
Think about what you about to click on Pornhub, knock on your door.
Yeah.
At right after the game.
Wow.
Hey baby, I got it. Yeah, it's, you know.
Dog, I'm
tired. I'm tired. Listen, I gotta get up out of here. You know, I just scored 3 touchdowns today. My knee hurt.
You gotta have an incredible amount of self-will and discipline in order to be in those type of situations and not feel the effects of temptation. With that being said, look, what he's saying isn't black. I mean, it isn't like old news or new news. I mean, it's the reality of the situation. And so Corey Holcomb, he's a person with money, you know what I'm saying? And like he said, he leverages that, you know what I'm saying? Whether you like him or not, that's what he's saying.
He says it in a vulgar way, but it's facts.
I mean, it can be facts, but he can still be a piece of shit because of it. So
yeah, he is kind of a piece of shit.
I'm just saying, Corey Holcomb is one of them people that like.
But I ain't gonna lie, I watch that nigga podcast religiously.
I'm glad you do. Listen, Corey Holcomb is one of them people that like like I said, I try to remain humble at all times. But Corey Holcomb is one of them people that like I think I'm better than. Like if you was to ask me, like, do you think you're better?
No doubt.
Like, do you think you're a better person?
He'll tell you to your face.
Yeah, I 100% believe that. Like
he says it all the time.
Yeah,
I'm better than you niggas. Like he says it all the time.
No, he's missing the point. What I'm trying to say, I know I'm a better person than Corey Holcomb. Like Corey Holcomb is one of the people that like he knows where his place is in life. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not trying to be anything more than like what he is. You know what I'm saying? And that is, you know, the counter.
But you know what's crazy?
Everything.
He also admitted this somewhat on this podcast that he kind of lives a lonely life.
He's a shitty person.
He kind of lives a lonely life. So the crazy thing is that though he's able to say all the things that he's saying, he knows like he knows exactly where he stands.
I just said that
in life.
He knows who he is. Like, and it's honestly, it can be revolutionary to a certain extent because like he doesn't have to pretend to be somebody that he's not. Like me, when I get on here, you getting me. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like when we say certain things, I'm always keep my 10 toes down on it because I've never said anything on this pod that I didn't mean and that like I can't articulate in a way in which I meant it. So what I'm saying here is Corey Holcomb is the same way. The difference between me and Corey Holcomb is Corey Holcomb is like on the bottom of the floor with his shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, that's how he feels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I can respect that to a certain extent. But all I'm saying is
he's not being fraudulent. And I think that's what anybody, whether you like him or not, you gotta respect. He's not being fraudulent. He's not putting on a facade.
I wouldn't expect anything less. You know what I'm saying? And so all I'm saying is, although if you don't follow Corey Holcomb or if you just only seen his clips and you don't like him, I'm telling you that what he's saying is mostly more true than not. And so he made good points. And so, you know, what you got to realize is if you got a motherfucker with money and he good looking, 6'2", you know what I'm saying? And he got bread, hey, you know, you probably ain't the only chick. I mean, that's just kind of the reality.
I'm 6'2", and, you know, I'm trying to get the other things like chick.
Are you married?
I'm not married.
Okay. So in which case,
but if you do marry me, I'm gonna be very loyal to you.
That's what he says.
Yo, you a hoe.
He may not even know if you're ready or not.
You a hoe.
You don't know until you put him on the field, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
All the scouting reports can say what they want. You know what I'm saying? You don't know until you put the player on the field.
I will audible the hell out of this. All right, man.
Hey, we should have a topic one day about avoiding. You know what? Fuck you. I'm saying now. Listen, the reality to not cheating is just avoiding temptation.
Swear to God, dog. I was just on the phone before I got here, and I was talking about we were talking about clubs and sections and shit. I'm like, I don't do that shit.
Niggas cheat at work all the time.
I don't do that shit.
Avoid temptation.
You know what's crazy, dog? There are good looking things at Target, at Walmart, at fucking anywhere. Like, why would I go somewhere with the intent of like to hang out with the boys?
I'm saying,
man, y'all better come over to the crib. We can watch this game, or you know what I'm saying. Listen, but I don't need to go. I don't need to go to Hooters.
It's avoiding temptation, bro.
I don't need to go. If I'm married, I have no reason to go to Hooters to watch a game around some girls that are just gonna have their ass and titties out. They don't make no sense to me. And then get surprised when shit goes south. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying,
but see, here's the reality. Them niggas, they want to be tempted.
Yeah.
They want to be tempted so they can do certain things, this, that, and the third. Like,
that's how cheating happens, bro. You at work, cute girl, cute guy flirting with you, you know what I'm saying? You know you married, they invite you out to lunch or whatever. You probably should decline, but you don't. One thing leads to another, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying, y'all hooking up on lunch and shit. Listen, avoid temptation, okay? And that's why, like, when men and women, that's why I say I don't be tripping with women either. We say, hey, what the fuck you mean you going out to lunch? Yeah, nigga, check that nigga. Check her. Like, no, that's how the shit happens. Because manipulators, like, people who are being manipulated sometimes don't even see it coming. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the reality is if you got somebody who's sweet, kind, nice, you know what I'm saying, and gentle, I don't know about men, but I'm be loud here. I'm saying this is more for women. They think the homie's being nice. He's not. He's not being nice. The motherfucker trying to get in your draws. That's how this shit works, especially like if you good looking. Matter of fact, you ain't gotta be good looking at this point. They just be trying to get in your draws.
Come on now, we got niggas wanting to fuck robots. All right. Come on, man. All right, man, let's get out of here.
Okay, man, with that being said, if you made it this far, we appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you like,
comment,
and subscribe. As always, make sure you share this with everybody you know. As always, till next time, we out.